This pie chart represents a massive systemic failure. Look at this red section. That's 80%. That is the percentage of medical bills in the United States that contain errors, leading Americans to overpay by roughly $120 billion every single year. Consider a recent case involving a family who went to the emergency room. The patient spent 4 hours there for what seemed like a standard, though urgent, visit. The medical staff did their jobs, the patient was discharged, and everyone assumed the worst was over. But a few weeks later, the paperwork arrived. Hospitals operate on a scale that dwarfs the individual patient. They are massive, heavily bureaucratic institutions equipped with entire departments dedicated solely to revenue cycle management. The family opened a summary statement demanding $195,000 for 4 hours of care. It was an impossible sum. Unable to pay, they quickly found themselves fielding aggressive phone calls from third-party debt collection agencies. This works because of information asymmetry. Healthcare billing is intentionally opaque, designed as a black box of complex coding that the average person cannot decipher. Because of this confusion, fewer than 1% of patients ever attempt to dispute a medical charge. The entire collection model relies on the patient feeling overwhelmed and powerless. Recently, however, patients have started using large language models and automated audit platforms to decipher these bills, leveling the playing field. To fight back, the first step is ignoring the summary statement entirely. Summaries lack specific details and cannot be legally audited. Instead, patients must formally demand an itemized bill from the provider. When that itemized bill arrives, it looks like this. It is a dense wall of CPT, or current procedural terminology codes. These alphanumeric sequences replace plain English descriptions, deliberately obscuring exactly what you are being charged for. Here is where the technology steps in. The patient feeds this chaotic document into an AI tool equipped with optical character recognition. The software scans the printed pages and instantly translates the messy, overlapping ink into rigid, searchable digital data. Once the data is structured, the AI cross-references those extracted codes against the foundational federal pricing rules established by the government, specifically the Medicare Physician Fee Schedule. The audit hunts for upcoding, falsely billing a routine 10-minute checkup as a complex hour-long consultation for higher reimbursement. Then there's unbundling, illegally splitting a single procedure into multiple charges, like billing an incision and stitches separately, double-dipping on profits. The AI functions as a forensic accountant, identifying deliberate institutional fraud hidden in plain sight. Once the AI identifies the errors, the strategy shifts from auditing to attacking. The software uses its findings to draft a specific legal response, called a debt validation letter. This letter invokes the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Citing this federal law forces the collection agency to immediately freeze all collection activity and legally prove that the debt is valid. This creates an immediate problem for the collectors. They cannot legally validate the debt because the AI has already generated the documentation proving the underlying hospital codes are fraudulent. This chart tracks the result of the proxy case. Presented with the AI-generated audit exposing their duplicative charges and unbundling violations, the hospital was forced to reduce the $195,000 bill down to $33,000. The patient didn't plead for a hardship discount. By utilizing the exact legal and coding frameworks that govern the industry, they trapped the collection agency using their own rulebook. Hospitals and massive insurance companies already utilize their own algorithms to automatically deny care and maximize billing at an industrial scale. These patients are deploying an essential defensive tactic in an automated arms race over who gets care and who pays for it. However, relying on consumer-grade AI carries severe risks. Generative models like ChatGPT are prone to hallucinations, a phenomenon where the software confidently invents fake data that appears authentic. If you submit a dispute letter that cites a non-existent section of consumer law or an invented medical code, the collection agency will immediately dismiss your dispute, and you may expose yourself to accusations of fraud. To safely navigate this, patients must keep a human in the loop to verify every claim the AI makes, or they must rely strictly on specialized AI audit platforms built explicitly to cross-reference actual medical databases. Medical debt remains a leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, but the black box of hospital billing is no longer impenetrable. Today, patients carry the combined power of a medical coder and a consumer rights attorney right in their pocket.